what are the best niches for recruiting agencies to target? Hey guys, Recruiter Preston here. Welcome to another video. As a professional tech recruiter and founder of my own recruiting company, I often get asked questions about how to start a recruiting business and also how to navigate the space once you have one. It's really hard to pinpoint one exact area that I would say is more important than the other, but one thing I definitely think new recruiters should think about is what niche do you want to work or specialize in? So in today's video, we're going to explore how all of that works and how focusing your efforts into one area is going to actually increase your chances of having success. That doesn't mean you only have to work in that particular field, but by starting off your career with specificity and narrow focus, you'll honestly stand a better chance of having things go your way right off the bat. So by focusing on a particular industry or job type, your recruiting agency can actually establish itself as an expert and build a reputation for delivering quality candidates, all while staying profitable. But what are the best niches for recruiting agencies to target? Well, one strategy is to look for industries or job types that are actually experiencing high growth or have a shortage of qualified candidates. This can include fields such as healthcare, technology, or even finance. Another approach is to consider the needs of specific companies or regions. For example, if there are many startups in a particular city, a recruiting agency could focus on finding talent for these companies. Similarly, if a company is expanding into a new market, a recruiting agency could specialize in finding candidates with experience in that market. It's also important to consider the competition in a particular niche. While some niches may be highly profitable, they may also be saturated with competing agencies. A recruiting agency may need to get creative in order to differentiate themselves from the competition and attract the clients and candidates that they need. So ultimately, the key to finding the best niche for a recruiting agency is to conduct thorough research and analysis. By identifying trends, assessing competition, and considering the needs of clients and candidates, recruiting agencies can find and establish themselves in a profitable niche. With that being said, why don't we explore some of these different niches? First up, healthcare recruiting. This niche has been growing and growing and growing steadily over the years with an aging population and a shortage of medical professionals. Agencies that specialize in healthcare recruiting can really help fill the gap and find quality candidates for healthcare facilities. Recruiting in this field is a process that involves finding, vetting, and hiring qualified healthcare professionals to work in various healthcare settings. The healthcare industry is diverse and encompasses a range of positions that require different skill sets, from physicians and nurses to medical technologists and support staff. The healthcare recruiting process typically involves several steps, including identifying open positions, sourcing candidates through various channels, and reviewing resumes and applications, conducting interviews, and making hiring decisions. In addition, healthcare recruiters may need to conduct background checks, verify credentials, negotiate compensation packages, and even provide training and orientation for new hires. The demand for healthcare professionals is super high, and the competition for talent is fierce. Healthcare recruiters need to be strategic and creative in their efforts to attract top candidates. They may use a variety of tools such as job boards, social media, employee referrals, and networking events to find and engage with potential candidates. Effective healthcare recruiting requires a deep understanding of the healthcare industry, including trends and challenges and regulations. It also requires really strong communication skills, empathy, and an ability to build relationships with candidates and internal stakeholders. So if you're interested in making lots of money and don't mind occasional high stress, this niche can be very lucrative. While the thought of the medical industry being one of the most profitable ones doesn't always strike me as super ethical, the reality is that this field has always been and will always likely be a very good business. Next is technology recruiting, and forgive me if at any point I sound biased towards this one, since this does happen to be my particular field. So then, what is technology recruiting? Technology recruiting, in the most basic definition, is the process of finding and hiring qualified professionals to work in various technology-related positions, often in roles such as software developers, data scientists, network engineers, cybersecurity specialists, and many, many more. It seems like every quarter there's honestly like a new title in this field just popping up. The process of technology recruiting typically involves identifying open positions, creating job descriptions, sourcing candidates through various channels, reviewing resumes, and applications, conducting interviews, and making hiring decisions. In addition, technology recruiters may need to conduct background checks, verify credentials, negotiate compensation packages, and provide training and orientation for new hires. The demand for technology professionals, especially recently, is very high, and the competition for talent can be very fierce. Technology recruiters also need to be strategic and creative in their efforts to attract top candidates. They may use a variety of tools, such like job boards, social media, referrals, networking events, to find and engage potential candidates, just to name a few. I spoke about this in another video, but you need to think of your own business as a brand, especially in this digital and information age that we all live in. Your online presence and social media accounts are definitely going to be a big part of your overall process. So going a bit further, effective technology recruiting requires a deep understanding of the technology industry, including trends, challenges, and regulations as well. It also requires strong communication skills, empathy, and an ability to build relationships with candidates and internal stakeholders. Technology recruiters must also stay up to date with the latest developments in technology to identify the skills and expertise that are in demand. This is one of the reasons why you see me focus so much content on various tech-related matters. While I do enjoy reading the news and talking about it, there's a much bigger reason why I think these topics are important to discuss. It's taking a look at our industry as a whole, and from that, being able to better understand how we can use our observations to our candidates and our clients' benefit. Another growing niche is diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. Companies are placing greater importance on creating diverse and inclusive workplaces, and agencies that specialize in DEI recruiting can help them achieve their goal. In a nutshell, DEI, or again, diversity, equity, and inclusion, is the process of finding and hiring a diverse range of candidates who can bring unique perspectives and experiences to an organization. Well, at least that's how they seem to word it. In practice, DEI focuses on candidates from underrepresented backgrounds by looking at race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, disability status, age, and also any military or veteran backgrounds. DEI recruiting involves a range of strategies, including job postings that explicitly state their organization's commitment to diversity and inclusion, sourcing candidates from diverse networks and organizations, and implementing blind resume screening to eliminate unconscious bias in the hiring process. Recruiters may also work with employee resource groups and community organizations to connect with diverse candidates and provide support during the hiring process. Effective DEI recruiting requires a deep understanding of the unique challenges and barriers faced by underrepresented groups in the workforce. It also requires a commitment to creating an inclusive workplace culture that values and respects diversity. Recruiters must be skilled in building relationships with candidates from diverse backgrounds and creating an environment where they feel comfortable and supported. It almost goes without saying, but this can be quite a sensitive topic, so make sure that if your organization is focusing on this field, everyone is fully aware that you're dealing with the very identity of people. DEI recruiting is not only a moral imperative, but also a business imperative, as diverse teams have been shown to be more innovative and effective in solving complex problems. This is also 100% a massively growing field, so consider taking the opportunity now to be an early adopter and take a lead. Last but not least, remote workforce recruiting. With the pandemic, remote work has become more popular than ever before. Remote workforce recruiting, as the name implies, is the process of finding and hiring qualified professionals to work in roles that can be performed from a remote location. This includes a wide range of positions, from software developers and digital marketers to even customer support representatives and project managers. We quickly realized in the last few years that you don't actually need to be in the office for a lot of jobs, so to say that this niche is rapidly growing in popularity would be an understatement. Also, the cool thing about this field is that even though it's a niche, it's also broad enough that you can target several different job markets and fields at once. So how does the actual recruiting aspect look? Remote workforce recruiting involves a number of steps, including identifying open positions that can be performed remote, creating job descriptions that clearly outline the expectations for remote work, and sourcing candidates through various channels such as job boards, social media, and professional networks and events. Recruiters may also need to conduct virtual interviews, assess candidates' communication and collaboration skills, and evaluate their ability to work independently and manage their time effectively. Effective remote workforce recruiting requires a deep understanding of the skills and characteristics that are essential for success in a remote work environment. This includes strong communication skills, self-motivation, and the ability to collaborate effectively with colleagues who may be located in different time zones and culture. Recruiters must also be skilled in using technology to facilitate remote interviews, assessment, and onboarding process. process. So even though this niche isn't exclusively tech-oriented, it does have a lot of crossover. Looking at the job market on a macro level, it's easy to notice that the demand for remote work has increased significantly in recent years, being driven by factors such as advances in technology, changing attitudes towards work-life balance, and of course the global pandemic. Remote workforce recruiting allows organizations to tap into a global talent pool and provide greater flexibility for their employees while also reducing costs associated with office space and other infrastructure. That fact alone cannot be understated. We've really learned as of recently how little we actually need the physical office spaces we used to occupy and how much money can be saved by forgoing them entirely. Let me know down in the comment section what you thought and if you think I missed any prominent categories. I know with the time that we had, it could be hard to cover as much ground as we like, so if you guys are interested, we can always cover other niches. If you enjoy this channel, want to see more like it, feel free to like, subscribe, click that bell. It really means a lot. Feel free to also follow me regularly, as I try my best to also post behind the scenes content. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you on the next one.